are glad you are back. Listen to this.
That's somebody else's shtick, and you might just need to be a little bit more patient, okay?
Hello everyone, welcome to my Dynamite review. Today we will be talking about the Dynamite that just happened a few hours ago, and it wasn't as spectacular as Dynamites go because AEW has really stacked out expectations sky high, and every time they don't reach those levels, we feel a little let down. I'm not going to say it was absolute trash, it wasn't shit, but it was a little lackluster, even with the CM Punk promo on the show. More on that later. To start things off, we got Orange Cassidy and Matt Hardy going one-on-one in a match that was very underrated. It was a comedy match through and through, without a doubt. Don't let anyone say otherwise. The match started with freaking brutal Orange Cassidy kicks and Matt Hardy just going delete. It's like kick, delete, kick, delete. And throughout the match, we would see a lot of comedy spots. But at the end of the day, it was also a really good match. Both of the men sold each other's offenses that weren't deleting or super kicking very well. And in essence, both of them went over and made the crowd cheer for Orange Cassidy and boo Matt Hardy really hard. Even though a lot of people were still on Matt Hardy's side. He is a Hardy after all. Hardy gets a lot of heat by putting his hands in his pockets and pulling out money. And if there's anything people hate,
it's rich people.
There's a lot of back and forth, and Matt Hardy takes care of Orange Cassidy for most of the match, dominating him throughout because of a botched dive to the outside, which Orange Cassidy hurt his back on in kayfabe, which Matt Hardy worked over. However, OC would eventually start dominating himself when he hit Matt Hardy with a few flurry of offenses. At the end of the day, Orange Cassidy won with a roll-up by putting his hands in his own pockets, making sure Matt couldn't kick out. Truly the most devastating maneuver in all of sports entertainment. Matt was busted open in this match, so all things considered, I think he did a wonderful job. All in all, a good match, and it really does put over Orange Cassidy as a massive babyface in the mid-card at least. Up next is a Malachi Black promo, and he tells Brock Anderson that if he does not apologize to Malachi and walk out of the ring for a countout, he will destroy him and his father. We are clearly booking Malachi as a heel, but anyone who goes up against the Nightmare Family is a face in my opinion. Chris Jericho comes out for a promo next, and he asks for another match against MJF at All Out. Can we end this goddamn program already? Please, I'm begging you. And you know what MJF thinks to say? Great men do think alike after all. MJF comes out with a shirt saying MJF 3 Jerry below nothing, which is cool, but I thought he only wore suits. Whatever. So he accepts on the condition that Jericho puts his career on the line. So a lot of people online are saying that it's telegraphing Jericho will win, and I hope that's not the case. MJF has won 3 against Jericho, a 4th win against him, and officially taking him out of wrestling will be a huge boost for MJF going forward. Maybe a massive heel #1 contender for a face Hangman champion? Someone? A short Varsity Blondes promo, and the only thing I took away from it is they are very good looking people. Julia is cute, Bryan is weird but kinda old man handsome, and Griff Garrison just plain old pretty. Lucha Bros versus the Varsity Blondes is up next, and the Bucks come out right after those two make their entrances because they have to be the center of attention. That's their entire heel shtick, right? They come out with all the stooges, the Good Brothers are there, Cutler is there, yada yada, who gives a shit. The only note I have for this match is Rey Fenix doing Rey Fenix things. I'm not kidding. Let me show you. Do you see it? Do you see it? Rey Fenix doing Rey Fenix things. That's the only note I have from this match. It's a decent match. Considering Lucha Bros are in a tag team match, it's supposed to be a lot higher standards. But it's clear that the Varsity Blondes are still green as hell, and their trunks colors do show green. Julia is 19. She literally has a lifetime in front of her to get better as a valet and as a wrestler. And both the Varsity Blondes are also very young. I'm sure they will get better as time goes on. They are great white meat baby faces though, I will have to give them that. And they've been booked quite well, and not super strong, but they shouldn't be booked super strong considering how green they are, but they've been protected quite well. After the match, the Jurassic Express come to shake the hands of the Lucha Bros, and the Young Bucks try to cause dissension, but these are not your typical dumbass wrestling baby faces. These guys actually have some smarts in them. So they know it's the Young Bucks who did it, so they try to take them out instead. The Young Bucks run away with tails between their legs. There is an Andrade promo after this, and Chavo Guerrero speaks for Andrade, putting over Pac how good of an athlete he is. But as Andrade says, Andrade is gonna win. We know this. The Lucha Bros are probably also going to turn. So, yeah. Up next is a match that I could not give a rat's ass about. I love Jamie Hayter, and it's not just the body, she's a really good wrestler, but yeah, also the body. Have you seen that butt? I do not like Red Velvet. She's green as hell, and in the match it showed Jamie Hayter was leagues and bounds above her as a performer. And Red Velvet is just not very good yet. Maybe she will be one day, maybe 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years down the line. Right now, she should not be anywhere near Dynamite, the A show, supposedly. To Velvet's credit, she did sell Hayter's offense really well and looked really good doing it. Like, Jamie Hayter was booked as a powerhouse and she threw Velvet around, ragdolled her through the ring, across the ring, through the barricades, wherever. At the end, Britt Baker, who came out with Jamie Hayter, distracted Velvet, and Hayter got the win with a massive lariat. I'm guessing that's her finisher now. I didn't really like this match, I'm gonna be honest with you, but I'm not gonna hate on it either. It was an alright match. It's just AEW has my expectations really high, and if every match doesn't deliver like, holy shit, what a match, it's just not that good for me. And I guess I've just been spoiled. After the match, Britt, Reba, and Hayter all take turns beating the hell out of Red Velvet, and Chris Statlander comes to save. Chris stands in the ring with the belt, holding the belt, and yeah, you're not winning it, Statlander. I like you. You're actually a really good worker. You have a great look, decent promo, and definitely some charisma. But Britt is over as Rover right now. She's hot as donut grease, as JR would say it. And there's no way she's losing. There's a Dark Order promo afterwards, and Evil Uno is healing it up. I don't know where this is going. Is Bray Wyatt coming in? Is Evil Uno turning heel? I don't know, but he kind of dismisses Reynolds as Silver's shadow, and Reynolds is super pissed, and everyone agrees, and Uno's apologetic. But yeah, you're the one who said it. You should be apologetic. That was an asshole thing to say to Reynolds, who's really good. Yeah, even though it's kind of true that he's in Silver's shadow, he's still a really good wrestler, and both of them make a great tag team. So I don't know who's turning heel here, or if a turn will happen, or is there a Dark Order Civil War storyline going on, but let's see where it goes. Now, it's time for the actual main event of the evening, the one that everyone's waiting for, and it's not the Malachi Brock match, because everyone knows that's gonna be a stupid looking squash match. It's CM Punk's Dynamite debut. Oh yeah, baby. And holy crap, the ovation. This is not as big of a audience as the United Center was, but it was still a fantastic ovation for CM Punk. Punk comes out and the CM Punk chants completely drown out Shivani's first question, and Punk cannot do any wrong today. Whatever he says gets massive pops. He name drops Jungle Boy, the Lucha Bros, and Brian Pillman as people he wants to face. He also says he's going to take on Darby Allin on All Out, and he name drops his wife, AJ Lee. AJ Lee to AEW confirmed! I'd like to see that. I was a big fan of that thing. Punk puts over Darby huge here. He says Darby would be his favorite wrestler if he was 15. He says he sees a little bit of himself in Darby, being the guy on the outside, the guy who doesn't fit the typical mold of a wrestler. He's not too big, he's not strong, but he has heart. Just like Punk did, just like Punk does. And really puts over Darby as one of his opponents, and going into All Out, I hope everyone is as excited as me to see CM Punk's debut in Chicago. Up next is a Miro promo, and I'm really loving these short Miro promos. He says he forgives Fuego because there's a bigger original sinner in town, and that's Eddie Kingston, the Mad King. I don't know why he's the original sinner, because they didn't really say anything. Miro said absolutely no reason why Eddie Kingston's the original sinner, but let's roll with it. I would love to see the match, so who cares? He asks AEW to bring him Eddie before he burns the place down, and there was something about Lana. Miro, I love ya. Stop trying to get Lana a job. Up next is a 3-man of Darby, Mox, and Kingston with Sting in tow. against the Wingmen. And I have no idea why they keep on doing these throwaway trios matches, because they don't build any story, but fine, I get to see the Wingmen on TV. That's something, I guess. The Wingmen don't even get an entrance, so you know these guys are getting squashed, and squashed they were. JD Drake and Cesar Benoni got some heat in, but Bryan Danielson was basically chopped out completely, which is fine. They're all choppers anyways. However, I don't see the point of this match, and there was no point to except maybe pop the crowd, and the crowd did pop, so fair play, Tony. Darby hits a coffin drop on JD Drake for the win, and Daniel Garcia comes out to beat the hell out of him, which is interesting. They're really high on this Daniel Garcia kid. There's a short tape promo afterwards where Marvez asks her what's going on with the Dark Order, and Ellie comes in, interrupts her, saying that the Dark Order are children, she should join the Hardy family offices, gives her a contract, and Tay just rips it in her face, and they start catfighting. Woohoo! Catfights! After this is a short FDR promo where Dash comes up with a massive bandage, and we all know what happened, that rip of the hand spot that was truly terrifying to watch. And he says he doesn't know if they'll be able to compete as a team for a long time after this, but they will go for one more match against Santana and Ortiz. So, alright. Kenny Omega comes out to cut a promo. Dawn mentions Christian and say his name and the devil shall arrive. Christian Cage comes out, calls Don Callis a carny piece of shit, shows us the footage that they published on YouTube a few days ago, where they show how Don Callis was supposedly not into Christian, and he said Kenny's better, and Kenny was 10 at the time. It's hilarious stuff. Piece of shit chance. Kenny makes a reference to Edge, asks Christian if he knows him. Yeah, Kenny, I'm sure he knows him. And so does his best friend. Callis says that Christian will always be second best, which starts a brawl, and everyone starts beating up Christian. Callis tries to choke him up with a scarf, and out comes Kazarian with a pipe, and they clean house for Kazarian and Christian to stand in the ring victorious. This week we will see on Rampage these two taking on Cutler and Omega. Very strange teams. Mox has a short promo afterwards announcing how he will take Satoshi Kojima's head off at All Out, and I'm just a little disappointed because it's Satoshi Kojima and not Hiroshi Tanahashi, which is weird because even a couple of years ago a match like this would have been huge. It's just right now, the level that AEW deliver on, this feels like an underachievement considering what we could have gotten, something like Mox versus Tanahashi, which is a match that they've been trying to set up for months now. Gun Club versus The Factory is up next, and again, another match that I'm not really into. The Factory and the Gun Club, both with the exception of Ogogo, have been portrayed as complete jobbers, and I couldn't care less about this. QT gets some nice boos, though he's totally over as a mid-card heel, and when he does the suck it to Billy Gunn, everyone starts chanting suck it QT, which is nice, which is a nice one. QT gets distracted by Paul White because he was trying to like shit talk him way too much, and gets rolled up by Colton Gunn and loses. The Gun Club wins. They stand tall. It's the Shoguns reuniting again. Up next is our favorite right-wing dog whistleblower, Dan Lambert, coming in to tell us how everyone sucks. Yeah, you soy latte drinking, you action figure collecting, soft soy boys, and he's managing Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, the epitome of millennial soy boy. Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, I respect both of you. I'm a millennial soy boy too. Have you seen me? I mean, come on. But what gives? Yeah, apparently he's managing them because they're both legit tough guys and martial artists, but they're also the same as all of us. Ethan Page, I follow his YouTube. He collects action figures. What the hell? And Scorpio Sky has a fucking podcast. What the actual hell? I know what Tony's trying to do. He's trying to get the right-wing hate going, and you know, it's fun to do, and I do like it. I love Lambert's promos, even though some Americans online are really pissed off. I like it, but putting him with two literal millennial soy boys is not the way to do it. These two are literally the epitome of millennial soy boy in the wrestling industry. If he got paired up with a couple of boomers who were also very old-fashioned, I'd understand, but these two, everyone that's a wrestling fan, everyone that's a fan of AEW knows that these two have podcasts and vlogs and whatnot. These are not the tough guys of old. These are not the toxic assholes of the 90s. Lambert, pick somebody who actually fits your fucking bill. Right before the main event, we get Arn promo, and Arn tells the interviewer that he said to Brock that don't do this. He didn't listen because he has the Anderson genes and they don't really listen. They're all very stubborn. So he's going to back him up. He's just not very happy about it. Main event time, and Brock Anderson comes out after Malachi Black for some reason, which, again, it's just an entrance. Why do I care? Malachi's entrance was great though, and it always seems to be really good. And he's also wearing tights today instead of boxers, which I really like. He looks much better in tights than boxers. Boxers make him look like he's just wearing underwear in the ring. Tights, especially shiny ones, makes him look like a fighter. Again, that's just my opinion. I could be wrong, so go ahead and tell me in the comments how wrong I am. Brock comes out to the most generic music I've ever heard, which is fitting for his character, I'd say. He gets some offense in because right as he enters the ring, he tries to charge Aleister Black, but this is a squash match and Aleister just pins him with a black mass after like waiting around for 5 minutes doing nothing. He brings in a chair to the ring. Arn Anderson stands up for his son and he says, let the chair go, let's fight mano a mano. And he does. He tries to go for a black mass. Arn actually blocks it with his hand. He's a 60-year-old man. He has no job blocking Malachi Black's attacks. But fine, Malachi Black just hits him in the nuts and hits him in black mass after that. And to make things worse, Big Shotty Lee comes out and he drives Malachi away. What are you afraid of Big Shotty Lee for? Even I'm not afraid of Big Shotty Lee. What the hell, Malachi? It just makes him look really weak, especially considering what a great debut he had, obliterating Cody. Well, that's it for this week's Dynamite. I will give this a rating of 3 out of 5 because I did not think this was a very good show. It was quite underwhelming, all things considered, especially considering the CM Punk promo was on this show. It was a show comprising of a lot of jobbers, a lot of green talent, and at the end of the day, aside from the Punk promo, nothing was really fun to watch on the level that AEW has been delivering for the past month or two. So at the end of the day, I think 3 is more than fair of a rating. And yeah, the CM Punk promo was basically all that you need to watch from the show. Everything else you can just skip and it's totally fine. Well, that's it for the review. Please do make sure you like and subscribe. There's all the links you need on the doobly-doo below. And of course, it's Navin Diaz signing off.